Right now we're at Fairfield County, right outside of Columbus, man, on the Empowerment Workshop Tour. Myself, Cardell Sims, Brandon Lasses, man, all formerly incarcerated individuals going in, knock this workshop out. Entrepreneurship, resume building, vision boarding, and a whole lot of resources for the men that's incarcerated. You know, this is something that's never really been done before on the tour going throughout the country, man. You about to lay it down. And so, documentary coming soon. Peace.
How many of y'all got a vision for yourself when you get out? Vision, put your hands up. You got a vision. What you know you're gonna do when you get out?
I said, well, I'm gonna get back to what I know. I'm going to treat my incarceration like I'm in school. And that's exactly what I did.
I took the franchise from 1.4 million to 2.6 million in 18 months. They put me on news, I made Black Enterprise, I made Success Magazine, I made Entrepreneur.
That's telling me that I gotta change people I'm dealing with. Whether it's wife, family, kids, whatever.
If you go to jail and you're incarcerated for doing something wrong, and they take you away from the community for so long, and then split you right back into it. If you're out there without any type of social skills or survival tactics, how are you going to be expected to succeed?
Well, out of all my time of being incarcerated, I've never had this experience. I've never had other guys that was incarcerated that has become entrepreneurs, role models. I've never ran into you guys. Hope. I would describe this workshop that's going on with you guys as hope.
The reentry workshop today, I think it was really good. Everybody was so captivated by what was going on. I probably could have told the CEOs, like, you know, go have a seat.
The reentry tour that we just did was phenomenal. All it takes is that spark. That is our jobs as leaders and speakers, is to empower them. And that sparking that is going to make them want to change, you know? So that's the best opportunity. You guys did phenomenal. You're interactive, you are real with them. And I think that we need more people like you doing that, because that's the only way for them to relate.
So we are super excited. Dallas and I, we are here today standing in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, right in front of the county jail where we started. We are making this course with you in mind because we love you. We want to see you succeed because we were once where you are right now, walking those halls, laying on the iron beds, and eating the mystery meat patties. We know how it is, right? So we have been dedicated to our success to make you successful as well. And we want to walk you through our stories with the obstacles, the struggles, and how we made it to be productive citizens in society from the day we left prison. I sat in Alabama's women's prison for a few years, actually 7 years of my life, for some choices that I made at the time. Once I left those prison doors, I was adamant about not coming back. But I did, guess what? I made another bad decision. I ended up going back for a second time. But once I got out this time, I made a choice. I would do anything I needed to do to stay out of those doors. What did I do? I made a decision, number one, to submit to a higher power that was greater than me. Once I did that, I took whatever job that I had to get.
The re-entry journey.
What would be one word to describe this journey?
Heartache.
Enriching.
Gratitude.
Unapologeticness.
Hope.
Elevating. Passion.
Resilience.
I say transformation.
Determination.
Intention.
My word is compassion.
Rebirth.
Intentional.
It's bigger than just walking down your probation and parole. It's changing your mindset, lifestyle, and never returning to prison again. It's the re-entry journey with Cardell Sims.
All right, man, we're back with another episode of the re-entry journey. And before we get started, I want to give a special shout out and let you know that this episode is brought to you by I'm That's right, inspire, motivate, and support others. Shout out to DJ David Walker, the CEO of the I'm brand, and go to I'mSoBrand.com and get you some I'm merch.
So is an acronym for inspire, motivate, and support others. Also, I'm so in the dictionary or English terms is to a great extent, beyond normal. And I took that and spun it in a positive way to make it to where everything you do is extra. Everything you do is above average. It's going hard, is striving to be the very best version of yourself.
All right, man, this is another episode of the Reentry Journey. I am your host, Cordell Sims, and today's guest, this is my sister, right? She was on the road in the trenches with us last year in the tour, hitting all the different institutions, sharing her story, hosting the panel, asking that she was the reason why at the end of the whole tour or the end of the whole workshop when we had the panel, people was breaking out crying because of how deep the questions was that she was asking that she had put together. Does a lot of work, got an amazing story, and man, I'm just happy to have you on as a guest. Welcome to the Reentry Journey, Miss Trinese McDowell. Welcome to the Reentry Journey.
Look, my brother from another mother. Thank you for having me. Look, it's been a long time coming. I said, man, let me hit my brother up. I said, I ain't jumped on the podcast yet, so I'm here. I'm glad to be here. And it's always a moment when we get together.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's always a moment. So for those just tuning in, and we'll be tuning in, let the people know where you're from and let them know your story before we even get into it. Let them know the story.
Just let them know a little bit of my story.
Yeah, let them know a little bit of your story.
If they don't already know, I'm from the South with this here accent that I have, this country slang. I'm from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, born and raised. And if y'all know I'm on the reentry journey, perhaps y'all know I did some time. 7 years, I did 2 separate bids on several charges. And I just start off from my younger days. Cardell, I was one of them hoopers too. I played basketball, had a good life, great parents, one of them straight A students. But I was introduced to the streets. And once I was introduced to those streets, for me, I chose it. A lot of people, they didn't get a chance to choose, but I got to choose. And I chose the streets. And from there, I lost my basketball scholarship at UAB because I gave it up to the streets. You know what I'm saying? And from there, it was on and popping out in the streets. Met my guy. He was selling drugs. He was big time. So that life for me, man, I got infatuated with it. The quick money, the nice clothes, the popularity, the influence. It was different from how I grew up because I grew up in a strict household, right? My mom had married a pastor. So my stepdad was a preacher. So, of course, I had many, many boundaries. It was the going to school, going to church, coming home, same thing. I always had curfews. And I couldn't understand the fact that, my friends, they ain't had curfews like me. They was out clubbing, having a good time, smoking weed, everything, skipping school. So I'm like, I'm hanging with them. And that's how it kind of went for me. And I was 24 years old when I caught my first charge. I caught 2 first-degree robberies and a distribution charge. And from that, I took that to trial, and wasn't nobody but the creator that was with me, the Most High that was with me, because I ended up getting a split sentence. I got a 20 split 5 on that case, and I went to trial. The jury found me guilty and everything. But truth be told, my case was one of, the police was on the stand line. they called my case one of those. It wasn't high profile, but it was a lot of conflict in it. Like I hired an attorney for my case, and a week before my trial, she was like, "I can't do it." She said it's a conflict of interest. So come to find out, the two students that were robbed were actually family members of the district attorney, right? So it was 4 of us on my case, right? I was the only one who did prison time. Everybody else got youthful offender and they got probation. So I was the only one that got time, and I really didn't commit the crime. I knew about it, but hey, it is what it is. So that was my first time I did my bid. And then after that, like I said, I was infatuated with that lifestyle. And then I found out how to scam. I got introduced to the check game, and I became one of them global scammers. You know,
Oh, no.
I looked at that as a full-time business every day. Pulling people in, sending them out, going to the bank. All I'm doing is creating the checks. One of them nerdy kids that found a way how to make money. And that's how my journey went with doing the bid, doing those 2 separate bids, bro.
And so when you say, can you break it down? Because someone be like, what's a 20 split 5? Remember, because that's how we was when we first heard the story.
Oh yeah.
What's a 20 split 5?
So in the South, they have what you call splits. So of course, most people know, and if you don't know, when you got Class A felonies, you looking at 15 years or more, 20 years or more. So my ultimate offers from the DA started with 20 years. Then it was 21 years. Then it was 25 years. Those were the only offers they gave me. So that's why I ended up going to trial, because I'm like, I'm not finna take that. They gonna have to give me what they're gonna give me, right?
I'm gonna get that anyway, huh?
Right, exactly. So, but down here, once they found me guilty, the judge was like, I'm not gonna give her no more than 5 years. So they had what you call splits. So that means I got 20 years, but they split my time to only serve 5 years in prison and then 15 years on probation. But if I mess up during those 15 years on probation, I got to bag up all of that time, those whole 15 years. I had to bag up the rest of my time. So that's what they call splits here. And when I caught my second case, well, really not my second case, but the second time I went and did my bid, I had just finished that 20-year sentence 30 days prior till I caught that new case.
Oh, woo.
Yeah. 30 days prior. And so I ended up getting another split, which was a 10-year split, 2.5-year sentence. And I'm currently right now still on probation. I got 2 more years left to kill that split, to kill that 10-year sentence.
Man, man, that's crazy. So
yeah,
what was it for you? Because you know me, how I was going in and out of prison.
Yeah.
What was it for you in between that first and second time when you got out that you just was like, man, even though I got this going on my back,
yeah,
I'm gonna basically do me in a sense.
Man, when I got out, so when I got out, I left with work release. And y'all know work release is when you got your job, but you still locked up, right?
Yeah.
So when I EOS did, I left the work release and I still had my job at a fast food restaurant. I was a manager at McDonald's. And so my family they helped me get an apartment in the location where the work release was, which was Birmingham, Alabama. So they helped me get an apartment. I didn't have a car, so I was catching the bus every day going to work. And I did this consistently for probably 2 years, catching the bus to go make $8 an hour.
Oh yeah.
And then my rent, I stayed on the collegiate side of town, which was the south side. So my apartment was probably like here. Huh?
You said you staying in the college side of town?
Yeah, the college side of town. So my rent was about $600-$700. And then again, like I was saying, my check was probably 1,000 before cuts. After cuts, it was like $800, right? So I lived that life for a while, and of course, the struggle got to me, and I started getting introduced to some people that were in the local area, right? And I was seeing how they were living, and me, I'm the only one still going to work every day. I'm seeing them make this money, right? But eventually, it got to the point where like I done made it this far, 3-4 years out. I'm good. I know I'm not returning. I'm not going back to prison. I know I ain't gonna catch no case, right? So that's when I was introduced to the scamming game, and it was put to me as, your name not on it, your face not seen, you won't get caught up. So I thought I was smarter than the average Joe.
Right.
In which we ended up, the feds came and kicked in the door. My friend ended up doing federal time on it.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
but truth be told, I just feel like, honestly, I never really got to the root of my issues.
mm,
So it was nothing that actually made those inner things that was going on with me. They didn't surface. They hadn't hit surface yet. I had them buried them. But then when certain things started happening in my life, it started rising up to the core again. So I went back to what I knew.
right.
Yeah. I ain't know how to handle the hard times of life, or when it started getting rough with the bills and the different stuff. So I knew I could go over here and make quick money.
Right. And do you feel like that quick money was that one of them inner foes? Like, well, I ain't finna, because these my master, because that's what it was to me, like making that money to where I ain't in the need for nothing. Like I'm just like you. Like my first time I got out, I tried to do it right, but I'm going to work I'm going ahead doing some back-breaking work for this moving company. I'm talking about pianos and everything else for like $7.75, $8 an hour, and child support taking half of it.
Oh yeah.
Man, and then when I go back and get off work, I'm getting off dead center of the block. It's everybody out here got good Dayton's, big rims on the whip. Oh no, I can't. Yeah, and it was just that thing. Like, and like for me, it wasn't even. I don't think it was. I think for me it was just the fact that I don't want to be struggling, right? Dealing with the fact of struggling, like, and I grew up struggling. Like, I'm not gonna be out here doing no back-breaking work, and I'm only bringing home $70, $80, $100 at the most. Like, no, no opportunities, and there wasn't no other opportunities back then when I was doing time. Back then, reentry ain't what it is now. But when I was getting out, you had to take the lowest of the lowest. When I first got out of prison, I was like, nah, ain't no opportunity. I know the perfect opportunity.
And look, for me too, because like here, well, back then, because that was 2012, right? Back then in Alabama, when you have a violent case, wasn't nobody in reentry trying to help you.
Right.
Like they had a program called the Danny Project, right? So I tried to go to them and try to get some help, and they said we you got a violent crime, we can't help you, can't get in our program. Yeah. So it was a couple of programs that I tried to go through, but was denied because I had a violent case.
Right. And that's crazy. And, and that's what it be at. People don't understand, like, reentry now, and it just started getting like that within the last 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Even before I went to the feds, which was what, 2013, I was on state probation and parole. And they were sending. I was going back. It didn't matter. I went back for association, all kind of stuff. When nobody out here helping like that, and when you got the job, it wasn't no opportunity for felons like it is for people coming out of prison now. What was the difference? The second time you got out, what was it that you had to do coming out the second time to know that I'm not going to be back in these type of environments, in these places?
Really, it was because I got in trouble again. Honestly, that's just the truth. Well, when I got out the second time, though, like you said, re-entry was different. So I got set up in like substance abuse classes. I was getting counseling through a program. I had to meet every week to talk to someone every week. We had classes, but yet even while I was in them classes, the whole time I'm in classes, I'm thinking about, okay, I know I got such and such that I'm gonna send out tomorrow to go cash these 3 checks. So I still had that mentality of doing that, but at the same time, I had a job too. So I'm working, doing all of the reentry things, but then I'm still trying to maneuver and manipulate on the side, right? So I end up catching another charge, and that did it for me because I was like, I can't keep doing the same thing. I'm gonna get the same results. I got to do something different. So that's when I pretty much made that turnaround. It was like I can't do it no more. And the day I went and talked to my judge, the day I went to court, I just basically I pulled my heart out to the judge, and he sit there and looked at me. He said, "Yeah, that sounds real good, but the fact of the matter is, you still broke the law." But you know what? He ended up he gave me a chance that day and gave me that split to be able to kill my time through probation and not go do time again. And currently now I have a relationship with that same judge where I go in and mentor other people.
And how does that feel, knowing that that relationship right there, knowing that was with the judge that sentenced you, like he seen your full turnaround?
What do you mean, like how that bond feel with him, or just in
How
general
does
how
that
that
make you
feels?
feel in general? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Accomplished. Also, he saw something in me, obviously that day that I didn't see it myself. I remember him speaking the words to me that day when he gave me a chance. He said that you're very well spoken, Miss McDowell. And he said, I hope that I see you within the next 10 years and maybe one day you'll be in here in the courthouse helping other people be able to overcome through reentry, right? It didn't take 10 years. I went back to him within a year to show him that I had changed and it was a big difference. And that's how I got into the mentoring and trying to help people in the reentry space. But yeah.
For some people, they usually wait a while before they, jump back in and help people and and things of that nature. For you, why was it important to get right to it?
Man, it was like a aha. It was like a light popped on for me. And I seen the difference in my mindset, my heart set, the way I shifted and started maneuvering in life. Me and you both, we big on personal development. And so when I seen how personal development shifted my life and faith, I said, man, I want to tell everybody. Because look, I know people that's struggling out there in the hood. Some people I know to this day don't want to do what they doing. Don't nobody get out and say they going back to prison. Nobody want to get out and want to go back, right? So I knew it was people that wanted to get out of situations, but didn't know how. And wasn't nobody trying to tell them how here, especially in Alabama. So I was like, man, I want to help everybody I can.
That's crazy.
I want them to be able to feel this freedom, this liberation I got. I want them to have that inspiration to know, look, you could be anything. It's people out here that did time, that's successful business owners, speakers, everything. So yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
But yeah, it's crazy you said that, because that's one of what really got me into coming out wanting to do something different. Like, I figured out how to stay out of prison for one. After working on myself, I discovered a lot of things about myself. But I want to come out and show the little homies, because they came and got a lot of us. So I want to get out and show the little homies, and a lot of them was behind me, that is a different way. You know what I'm saying? We apply the same hustle, the same knowledge, the same creative things into something positive, into something that we love to do, then the reward to be greater than just prison.
Yeah.
People say, like, Yeah, you speaking. I want to become a speaker because I just wanted to find another way to share my story outside of rapping, because that's what I was doing in rapping, was sharing my story, what I was doing in the streets and everything, how I grew up and all that. I just took that and put a purpose behind it, and
Mm-hmm.
so that's how all that came about and how I put that together. But I was just like you, like it's kind of like I had the key, I had the answer, I had to share it with everybody.
Yeah.
So I definitely can understand that. So let's talk about the work you do now. Tell the people about the work that you do now.
Look, that's the segue right there when how we both were just talking about we got the key, we got the answer, and we want to share it. So that's like what I do now, helping people basically, especially authors and people that got messages and stories, help them build their brands. You know,
Mm-hmm.
helping them understand that really and truly we the bag, we the business, we the product, and that ultimately if we continue to grow in development, all we got to do is look back at our process, create a framework, and put it in a delivery system, whether it's a book, a speech, videos, whatever. And that's ultimately to me what we supposed to do while we here is to help
Exactly.
somebody else journey, leave a legacy. Leave a legacy through the lessons we learn, our experiences. So if y'all don't know, I am an author of the
I
book.
was just about.
Let's see if
Hey,
I got it.
I was just about to say that.
Look, oh, author of the book. I don't know if you can see it because I got that background screen back here. But the me I
There you
never
go.
knew, the benefits of self-awareness, and that kind of just basically telling my story and helping people to see when you start looking within and looking in that mirror, that personal development, you can't lose. Once
Mm.
you learn your weaknesses, your strengths, you can monetize all of that. Cause I look back at that Trinese from 2012, that Trinese from 2018. I got something I could teach her.
Mm.
And so I just put it in the system, package it and sell it.
Right. And what is the benefits of self-awareness? That's just name a couple of them that you talk about in the book.
The benefits of self-awareness, not getting the same results, being able to step out and observe yourself, see how you could better yourself, finding out, ultimately what your gifts are. Most people right now currently looking for their purpose, but once they begin looking at themselves, they'll start understanding more of their purpose or more what's going on with themselves and their lives, their emotions. Um, Basically, in my book, I use my own story to show the layers of how it benefited me. From the moment I was sitting in that prison cell with a broken fibula from playing basketball. So on my last bid, I was in the infirmary the whole time. So I couldn't do nothing but read, walk to the little shower, which was probably 2 steps away, and realize I was hopping because I was on crutches, and get back in the bed for my whole stay on my second bid. So and on that bid, I had a lot of time to myself. I couldn't do what we call jailing. All I had to do was hear my inner thoughts, my inner me. And so that's where I began that journey of that self-awareness. And that's when I got to read more of the other books and looking through the magazine. I started seeing something else for myself. I started seeing me as the version that I am now.
Man, that's crazy because in prison you got, it's a saying, you'll find yourself where you can solve your problems best. And a lot of
Yeah.
times you have to go face to face with yourself. That's
Ooh,
where personal development.
that's one of the hardest things you have to do.
Man, yeah, man, what? And doing doing it in the condition that you was in.
Yeah.
You know, you basically was in the hole in a sense. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it wasn't no sense of releasing. You ain't got to get to walk the track. You ain't got to, play some cars anything of that. You got to really read and wrestle with yourself.
Cause look, I was what you call a runner. I had been running from stuff all my life. I knew how to put up those walls. You know what I'm saying? Build up walls to keep from feeling different things. I leave situations like when I left my parents' house when I was young. I just leave, get in something else. I ain't feeling it. I just leave, and I knew everywhere I went, I can adapt to whatever was new.
Right.
So I had got put in a predicament where I couldn't run from me no more. So I had to box me out.
And you had like with Jesus, you had to go in the wilderness and wrestle with yourself.
Yeah.
Man. So you was talking about you now, there's a lot that you can go back and tell and teach you back then. There's somebody there's a you right now that's gonna be watching this. What advice and what would you have to tell them? There's a you back then. What would you tell them?
The person from back then?
From back then.
Oh man, I would tell her or them that man, be authentically yourself. You good where you at. Understand what that pain is, what that emotion is, and move on. Face it, take your head on. You strong enough to deal with it, and it's probably not as bad as you think it is. And guess what? You're gonna be successful in the next few years. The moment you start looking at yourself, and when you decide to face you and take that on, you're gonna be successful from that day forth.
The tour.
The tour.
What was one of your
the old tour or the one coming up?
Nah, the new one's gonna be even better. I don't know. The first one was pretty good because it was our first experience. This is where everybody that was with the tour got to really meet each other physically. Like even though we had met virtually and networking with each other for over the last couple of years, the tour was the first time that we all got to meet each other. What was your favorite spot on the tour that we went to?
Our favorite location, Ohio.
Why you say Ohio?
Yeah. I think was that the first one we was at?
Yeah, that was the first one.
Ohio. I loved Ohio because of the energy that the guys gave us. They was lit.
Yeah, they was.
But truth be told, the whole workshop, I loved it.
Kentucky.
I can't really pick one, but I did like the energy from the first guy. But then when I think about it, I like the energy from Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm about to say Kentucky was lit too. Yeah, Kentucky. Reason why I say Kentucky because remember when we took the lunch break, they went and got some more people. When we came back after the second half, the room was even crowded. Dude was like, "Yeah, man, I had to go get a lot more people to hear about this." And then I think we did 2 days there. And the next day, it was really packed in there. Like, man, what's going on? Like they was waiting, they was lined up, and on top of Kentucky is where we stayed in the woods.
Sure was, wasn't it? And then what is Kentucky the one where I can't think of his name, but he wrote that rap. Remember, guy wrote the rap about each one of our stories.
Oh yeah, the dude. Yeah, he sent it out to us.
Yeah,
I got that email. Nah, he sent it to me on Facebook. He did write the rap. Yeah, I really like Kentucky. What was it? Lee Adjustment. We ready to come back when y'all want us to. Lee Adjustment.
That's right. That's right.
We just waiting on y'all.
We done growed a little bit more, so we got more information. We gonna go deeper this time with some stuff.
Yeah, we gonna go in there. If you had one word, I always ask everybody on the podcast this. If you had one word to describe your journey, all the way up until now, what would that one word be and why that one word?
For my journey?
One word.
One word for my journey. Evolution.
Why evolution?
Evolution. And it's self-explanatory. Just evolving as a person, evolving and growing to the next version of me. I can't wait to come back and look at this 5 years from now and see me now. But then I know I'll be 10 steps ahead, 10 steps more in growth, being involved to another version of myself and be thinking like, wow, you will be a different version of yourself 5 years from now. You might be rolling in that Rolls Royce and we'll look back and be like, man, you remember we was talking on the re-entry journey?
Man, we will be looking back, man.
So yeah, evolution. Evolution was my word because I don't feel like some people sit back and be like, man, if I could change this about my journey, I wouldn't change nothing because I would not be who I am today. And I believe every part of my life and my journey was meticulously put together so I could become who I'm becoming.
And speaking of who you becoming, what's next for you?
What's next for me? So of course, you already know, just like you, we speaking, we doing workshops. I'm working on my second book currently now, which is part 2 of the Me I Never Knew, actually going into details of this past process of my life. Building out the Re-Enter Reclaim nonprofit to be able to make curriculums for people in the re-entry space. Then not only that, still building my You Just Got Branded brand and business to help people like you and myself get their messages out, get more visibility, be able to create content for them, and much more. Be able to get them on podcasts, interviews, news articles, etc. So if you need to get branded, this is a shameless plug. Check me out.
I was just about to say. Drop the plug. No, real talk. If you really do need to get branded, you all need to be getting in touch. How can they get in touch with you? Because I ain't trying to be funny, but I know some of y'all out there trying to get in the lane and do the space, and you ain't putting your message and your branding in out there together.
You gotta put yourself out there. You gotta tell that story every chance you get. So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn. All of the handles are the same. Trinese, McDowell. And if not, DM me, DM Cardell. He'll get you linked up with me and we could go from there.
And do you see yourself running programs inside of institutions as well?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. It's on my vision board to have a curriculum at least in 30 states. So it's gonna happen because it's on my vision board. You know, you teach the vision board stuff. So everything, I had to recreate a new one because everything I had on my old one, I had to hit the mark. So I had to get new dreams.
That's how it's supposed to be. Nipsey Hussle said it. I got some new dreams because I accomplished all my old ones. That's right. I know I'm a big Nipsey Hussle fan. That's just that's just how it goes. I know a couple people gonna say, why you keep saying we? Why you say we? What you mean we? I don't want to forget my road dog. Not giving him no shout out.
So my brother, my other brother, because I got what 4 or 5 of y'all, but my brother that's here in town with me in Tuscaloosa, Dallas Richie, y'all can see him on another episode of the Re-Entry Journey. I think it was maybe about 30, 40 episodes back.
Yeah, it's about 30,
he was on there. Dallas Richie, that's my partner in crime and business partner. We go out and do speaking together here in Alabama, and we run our Re-Entry program together, Re-Enter and Reclaim. I ain't wear the shirt today and represent.
Yeah, you ain't got the shirt. Re-enter and reclaim.
Now look, he was calling me a minute ago. I should have put him on speakerphone.
Right. Yeah, man. I talked to him about a month ago, man. The tour, we gonna get a tour this year. We gonna make it happen, man. That's just what it's gonna be. But I really want to thank you for coming on, being a guest. But most importantly, I want to say thank you for going on the tour with us. To you, Dallas, everybody who went on the tour, because you all helped me manifest my vision that I had. Only vision that I had for 2023 was going out there and getting in the trenches and opening up the doors, letting them see what we can bring and connecting and making an impact. So I definitely want to say thank you for that. And I look forward to going on the tour and working with you all some more this year, and making them things happen. So I most definitely want to say that. Next, I want to say is I think we we got to have like a we need to all come back on the podcast. Everybody that went on the tour and just sit back and talk about the tour and things of that nature.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Look, you gonna let me be the host.
Yeah,
you know,
I'll
I
let
think
you be the host.
I'm Oprah.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you be the host. We're gonna fall back and let kind of like how we
Now
do.
I have my questions prepared and ready.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna get that. So we're gonna have to send that out in the group message. But I want to, like I said, I want to thank you just for that. But thank you for being who you are. Thank you for sharing your story, walking in them prisons, because a lot of times when Coach wasn't there, you was the only woman represented.
Yeah.
You know, and that meant a lot. So again, man, just thank you, because I like I said, you all helped me set out and accomplish a goal and the dreams. And the whole thing about it, like people always ask me, like, why did you pick the people that? I was like, because them was the people when I asked what they wanted to do, they didn't say how much we getting paid and nothing. They just said, let's go, let's go do the work.
Let's go. Yep.
And you know that means that shoe. When you got somebody that's saying, let's go, let's get in the trenches, man, that means a lot. So yeah, thank you all on that. But yeah, I look forward to it. This year, man, we're gonna tear some doors down. So I ain't made no announcement about no tour. I ain't gonna make no announcement to to everything come through. But you know, if they come with the tour, you know, you and Dallas are always going to be on there. You know, we got our lineup. And the cool thing is, once we continue to keep making this tour a legacy, we're gonna be able to have some of them old participants that was at the first tour be able to come in and showcase what they be doing and giving an example. So that's what I'm looking forward to as far as when it comes to that end of the tour is within the next few years. Those that got out, we've been mentoring, and they're on the leg of the tour. That'll be great. But thanks a lot for being a guest on the reentry journey. You know, anything I can do, you already know to reach out, point you in direction, connection, whatever, whatnot, because I know what you all down there doing, and I also know what you all facing down there and trying to do the work that you all doing. So any assistance and things and any way I can help, man, always just y'all already know, message, call away. But yeah, we got to get y'all in some institutions and things like that. So I'm gonna look forward into making that happen, because you know, we put a lot of work
Look,
in.
you know, we appreciate you. How you just took us in. We love it.
Yeah.
We thank you for having that vision and opening them doors for us to be able to go with you, because we had that same message and mission.
That's all it took, man. It came out great. Man. I had one of the wardens in one of the prisons we went to sent me a message the other day and said, these people keep asking me. I just got to this institution, but these people keep saying they want this people. I think we talking about the same people. And then she said, I said, yeah, that's us. So she's like, they working on it. So hopefully that goes through and we can go back in it, because they know when we come in there, they know what it is. We setting off fire alarms, causing fire. But thanks a lot for being a guest on the reentry journey. For those of you who want to tap in with Trinese, you need to get the branded, want the speaker and everything. She's all over. I don't. If you can't find her, I don't know what's going on with you. But most definitely reach out to her and connect, because I'm telling you, I vouch. I know the story. I know the work, and yeah, straight up, that's my sister. So y'all make sure y'all tap in with Trinese. But yeah, thanks for being a guest. Sorry it took so long to get you on, but thank you for being a guest on the reentry journey. And like I said, you already know anything, any way I can help, hit me up.
Will do.
And for those of you that's on the inside that's tuning in, y'all know what I always say. Don't let the limitations of your background reduce the height of your potential. If you're trying to get somewhere, the time for you to do it is right now in the position where you at. Any last words for those on the inside, Trinese?
Look, you just told him. Don't let that where you at limit you. He always talk about them vision boards, planning, goal setting. Be working on your plan right now. And soon, y'all will be on the tours with us, walking and mentoring somebody else on down the line.
That's what it's all about. So this is another episode of the Reentry Journey. Thank you, everyone that's tuned in. And until next time, I see y'all when I see you. And we are out.
Reentry journey. What would be one word to describe this journey?
Heartache.
Enriching.
Gratitude.
Unapologeticness.
Hope.
Elevating. Passion.
Resilience.
I say transformation.
Determination.
Intention.
My word is compassion.
Rebirth.
Intentional.
It's bigger than just walking down your probation and parole. It's changing your mindset, lifestyle, and never returning to prison again. It's the reentry journey with Cordell Sims.